Hey guys, Bruce coming at you again. Welcome to my kitchen. As you can see, if you're in the group, my Facebook group, Former Fat Guy in a Tiny Kitchen, I have a very, very small kitchen here, but I like making food. I love cooking, so I try to make the best of it. It's actually only 6 by 8. I don't even have a refrigerator in my kitchen. That's how small this thing is. But I like to come up with things that are just fun to eat, fun to make. My last video, just yesterday, I did a goulash video with a friend of mine. That was a lot of fun. It was kind of funny because we're both like crawling over each other in the kitchen. So it's really not enough room in here for 2 people. It doesn't really matter. What I got for you today is we're going to learn how to make funnel cakes. And, you know, the kind you get when you go to the state fair or carnivals that you can see all summer long. Well, what about in the winter if you want funnel cakes? I was craving them the other day, so I made them. I actually got this I got at an Aldi. It was a funnel cake kit, and it was only a one-shot thing. It's enough to make one batch. And I made it. It was pretty good. But I got to thinking, I'm like, it's almost the same as pancake dough. So I made a batch of pancake dough, and it actually wasn't the same. I had to make a few adjustments, but today I'm going to show you how to make these. You can make it for your family at home. We're going to show you how to make 1 pan of it, and it's usually enough for 1 serving for a guy like me. But if you double the recipe, whatever. The recipe will be in the description, but this is really easy to make, and I think anybody can do it, and it's a lot of fun to eat. So let's go and do that. Okay, so now we're going to go through our ingredients real quick. I got a 1/4 cup of milk there, 1 egg, a tablespoon of water, which we'll get from the tap, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 3/4 tablespoons baking powder, a pinch of salt, and 1/2 cup of flour. That's all it takes. If I went too fast, don't worry. It's going to be in the description. In fact, here, I'll just show you the card that I'm reading off of. You can freeze frame that and copy it down if you want to, screenshot it. And it will be in the description, though, as long as I remember how to do it. You're also going to want to get yourself some vegetable oil. I have mine already preheating over here. You want to get that preheated to 350. You can also use a deep fryer if you want to. Today I decided to use some fresh oil so it comes out perfect. And then my leftover oil I'll put on my deep fryer when I'm done. So let's get started and mix these together. Okay, as usual, you want to start by washing your hands. So I have a nice clean table. I'm very fussy about that. But we want to mix our wet ingredients together first. So here's my milk. I'm going to dump this egg in here. And you want to mix that egg up. Beat it pretty good before you add your dry ingredients. That way it gets equally distributed. The next ingredient is a tablespoon of water, like I said, right from the tap. That's in there. We'll mix that up. And now we can start acting. Well, we got some vanilla here. Now we need some, about a 1/2 teaspoon. I mean, you should measure this out, but I don't have a 1/2 teaspoon sitting next to me, and I'm trying to get through this. Mix that up a little bit, and then I got my, next I'm going to put in my flour. That's flour. You see now it's starting to get thicker. That's the way it's supposed to do. Then I got some sugar, granulated sugar, regular old normal sugar in case anybody was wondering. And very important, you want to put in some 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, which I should have put those in with the dry ingredients, but of course I'm hurrying up. And you want just a little bit of salt, just a tad like that. No special measurement. Now we got all the ingredients in there. We're just going to mix it up. And as you can see, it's got a pretty thick texture, a little thicker than I like my pancake batter. And just mix that up real good. Make sure there's no lumps in it. And that's about great right there. Now what I like to do, I kept this container that I had told you about. I kept this container that I got from the grocery store because it's perfect to pour. And, you know, it gives it more of that funnel cake look. So I'm pouring my batter right into there. Now, if you don't have one of these, don't sweat it. You can use a glass bowl like I'm using here, plastic, anything with a spout should help you. And I want to get all that goodness out of there. Let me grab my rubber spatula. So you don't even have to do this step if you don't have one of these. I wouldn't blame you if you don't. But anything with a spout, this Pyrex thing works great. But I like to be fancy. And then we're going to go and we're going to hit our oil. And I'm going to show you, if you're using a pan, how to tell if your oil's up to temperature. Here we go. So I've had this oil sitting on my pan on medium for a while till I think it's heated up. And the way we're going to test it, you want a 350, about 350 to 375 degrees total. And you also want to make sure it's going to be hot enough. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of this extra batter. I'm just going to dot it in there. And you see how it comes to the top and it starts frying immediately? That's a good temperature. Like I said, if you have a thermometer, go ahead and use it. that looks good. So we're going to go ahead and pour us a funnel cake now. And we're going to do this in real time. This is how quick this is. Here we go. Make circles around like that. I like to work onto the inside. You see, it makes a nice little spiral pattern. Then I cut across a few times, and that'll connect it all together. And you have like a nice pie-shaped serving of dough. Or funnel cake. And I can put this whole thing in this pan. This is a 10-inch stainless steel pan, by the way. Just perfect enough for one serving of this. And we're letting that fry up, and you see how quickly it's frying. It's going to start turning golden brown here real soon. As soon as it starts turning golden brown, we're going to flip it. Now, this is this is where you got to be careful, because we don't want to splash this hot grease on us. So I'm going to let it cook just another minute while I'm talking, but you can see the edges here are just starting to turn golden brown. Just starting to. But of course the top isn't. And that's why we're going to flip it. So, okay, now this is important. Gently get underneath it. You'll see that it is floating in that oil. Also, the amount of oil I use is about a ½ inch in my pan. Flip it. Gently set it down in the oil. And your last part that comes down, you want to try to push that away from you, so just in case it splashes up some hot grease. And we're going to cook that for another minute. Now, I had this oil set up. It probably was a perfect 350. I could have gone a little hotter. But you'll see it's all turning nice and golden brown, just like a pancake. We're going to sit there and we're going to watch that for a minute or two. Now, depending on the temperature, it's going to depend on how dark it gets and how long it's going to take to cook. Like I said, I could have had this at a little higher temperature, I suppose, but that's what happens when you guess. And like I said, you can use a deep fryer set about 350, 375. You just won't get the nice round shape that I was going for. So yeah, it was a little bit low, but we're still going to be good. Now, if your temperature is low, you're going to notice your your funnel cake is going to come out a little greasier than you're hoping. The hotter the temperature, if you can hit that range between 350 and 375, you're going to get a perfect funnel cake. This one, I would gather that my temperature was probably not quite hot enough. I'm guessing maybe 325. So, and if you ever seen my other videos, I always own my mistakes. Still going to be yummy though. So it's been, yeah, that was definitely a little low temperature. I don't normally flip it a second time, but if you have to, you have to. I wanted to get a look at the bottom. Yeah, my oil could have been hotter. So we're going to leave that cook for another minute. I'm booting up the temperature more a little bit. Not really going to help at this point. Normally this would have been done by now. It's always better. And you know what's funny is I couldn't find my thermometer. But if you look right here at the bottom of my utensil thing, there it is. I found it too late. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, that's still going to be my bottom. I flipped it one last time just to be sure. Now I'm just going to kill my heat because I'm done with it. And I don't have any paper plates like they give you at the carnival, so we got to pretend. I'm going to put a paper towel down on my... I'm going to hold it here, let it drain for a minute. See how nice and golden brown that came out? And lay it on my plate. And I'll show you what I like to top it with. Coming up next. So there it is. I like to put powdered sugar on top of mine, just like you get at the fairs and the carnivals. You can use any topping you can think of, though. You can put cinnamon sugar on there. I know a guy that actually puts garlic butter on his. He loves it. You could put jelly, maple syrup. I mean, really, whatever you like. And so that's that. And I hope, let's go to the next part for the outro. So that's basically it. I mean, like I said, it's very simple. It's very close to like a pancake waffle mix. I think the difference in it in the ingredients might be, I really don't know what the difference is in the ingredients. It's just different ratios to make it more puffy. And I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any requests that you'd like to learn how to make something weird or find out how to do it, I'll do the best I can to teach it. And all right, enjoy your funnel cakes, and we'll see you next time.